All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Subeg's Garden. This is episode number 3. I am the host for today, and as always, the Avatar, otherwise known as Subeg. You know, it's the same old going on today. I just kind of woke up. I went to the gym. I came home, did some things, did a little bit of writing and stuff like that. You know, tried to get all of my creative energy up for this episode. So first thing I wanted to say is last week, my guy Kawhi, number 2 on the Clippers, he was in some Padres gear. And to me, that's a fat L. Bro, you play in Los Angeles. Anyways, the other day, I was at work, and shout out to my guy Corey. We had a very deep and intellectual conversation that jumped through several topics. To give a short description of that conversation, it was about the road that is paved by good and bad intentions. The main thing that I got from that conversation is that conversation in general is nuanced. Sometimes you got to look at something 2 or 3 different ways to truly understand it. You got to look at the finer details and taking the whole picture. You got to take the dual approach. I do have a couple corrections that I want to make for my first 2 episodes. Damn, it's already been 3 weeks doing this. Crazy. 3 weeks and some change. So the first correction that I wanted to make is I said Kanye was with Amber Heard, but he definitely wasn't with Amber Heard. He was with Amber Rose. And the second correction that I wanted to make is last week I was talking about flexing, and I'm not talking about like when you flex in the mirror, because I actually think that doing that is probably good for muscle growth and stuff like that. So, but I don't know. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when people like flex like how much money they got and like flex the shit that they have. And so the first topic that I'm going to be talking about is Utopia, and it's going to be kind of like a review. It is the first time that I'm doing like a review on this, so my thoughts might be a little bit unfiltered. So how I rate albums is if the album has 16 songs and I personally like 9, it's a 9 out of 16. And the math on that is really actually quite simple to do. All you have to do is divide the number of songs you liked by the number of tracks in the album. And then you multiply that number that you get by 100, and then you get a percentage. So 9 divided by 16 times 100 equals 56.25. Or it would be 56%. And a side note to that is I think that the perfect track length for an album is 14 to 16 tracks. I start rolling my eyes when I see long-ass 20-plus track albums. All right, we're going to get into the first segment. We're going to be talking about Utopia. Just to give like an overall impressions on this album is, to be completely honest, I think this album was way too long. Like, in reality, I need Travis Scott's auto-tune ass blaring in my fucking ears for like 45 minutes max. And I think this shit went on for like an hour and 20 something minutes or something like that. Way too long. And it actually made this like process that I was doing like really tedious. He's not talking about anything different, and he's not really changing up his subjects. He kind of addresses some of his controversies and stuff like that, but he doesn't really talk too much about it, you know? Like, I understand he wears his influences on his sleeve. Like, we all wear our influences on our sleeves. But I don't think you should be wearing your influences to the point where you even follow their steps in how many controversies you're in. Like, if you look at Travis Scott's career till now, he's probably had as many controversies as Kanye had in his career to like halfway through it. Because I would say at this point, we're halfway through Travis's career. However you want to look at it, we could be a little bit less than halfway, but to be honest, I think we're probably around halfway in his career. You know, I'm not gonna go through all the songs because I don't like all the songs. I'll just talk about the songs that I did like. So the first song that I want to talk about is "My Eyes." This is one of the songs that has multiple parts in it. The first part of the song, it kind of sounds like Travis's take on like a lullaby, and it almost has like a Frank Ocean vibe to it, and I kind of dig that. And then in the second part, like the beat switches and he's like rapping more and stuff like that. If you're looking at the lyrics, he's pretty much addressing his 2021 controversies. The deaths at Astro World Festival. He does go pretty hard in the song, so I do like this song personally. It's interesting. Oh, so the second song that I liked is "Meltdown." This song has 3 parts. Drake is in this song, so it's actually surprising, or should I say Aubrey? Our boy Aubrey was in this song. So Aubrey's in the first part, and then Travis takes on the second and third part. The beat switches on every single part. I love that shit. As I said earlier. Yeah, I like this song. I mean, it's pretty generic and shit like that, but you know, there's some clever wordplay and stuff like that. Fiend. So this song has Sheck West, Playboy Cardi, and Travis, and pretty much the chorus is just them yelling "fiend." like it's literally just that. Yeah, the chorus is just them yelling "fiend." Cardi has a verse in the latter half of the song, and honestly, what I get from Cardi and just listening to his music, I'm talking about Playboy Cardi, not Cardi B. What I get from Playboy Cardi is if you just turn off your brain, you just turn off your brain and not really listen to what he's fucking saying, you'll most likely just enjoy it because he is really just saying some fucking nonsense for the most part. But yeah, I like that song. That's another good one, I would say. The next one that I liked is a song called "I Know." This gives me like 808s and Heartbreaks vibes. I like when Travis actually sings in his music, or actually attempts to sing in his music. But this is probably my favorite song on the album. I fucked with it. The next one that I liked, it's not really, I wouldn't say it's really a song. It's probably serves as more of an interlude in the album. The song is called "Parasail." And I didn't really like Travis's part in the song, but I kind of messed with Dave Chappelle's part. And it's surprising seeing Dave Chappelle on an album, to be honest. But, you know, it's just really spoken word for at the end of the day. And this spoken word, it kind of gave me goosebumps the first time I listened to it. Like, it kind of made me focus more in on what I was listening to when this came on. And this kind of ties into what I was talking about in the first episode. When I was talking about the Clippers and then them losing. And shout out to Colin because I was listening to a Constellation episode earlier today. I don't know which episode it is. Like, I don't even know if I'm caught up or not. But he brought up the idea of being a good loser. And this the same thing that I was talking about with the Clippers back in 2015 and 16 when they had Doc Rivers. When they lost, he said in one of the press conference, you got to lose in order to learn how to win. And, you know, that's something that I'm trying to find in myself too. Like, I play MLB with my boy Quentin. Shout out to my boy Quentin, just throwing out shout outs left and right. I play MLB with my boy Quentin, and he just straight dogs me. Like, he's a fucking dog in that game. You give him a racing game, he'll be ass. But you give him MLB the show, he'll fucking murk. But yeah, like I get mad when I lose. Like, I hate losing. I think everyone does. But I feel like you got to learn how to lose in order to win. But yeah, I like Dave Chappelle's part, and it even ties into his life too, because he said controversial shit. He takes an L on it. He gets quote unquote canceled, but then he comes back, and we all accept him because he's funny as shit. But yeah, this is another one I like. The next one I liked was Lost Forever. I mainly like this because Westside Gunn is in it. I fuck with Westside Gunn. He's cool. I love his ad libs. Like, they make me laugh all the time. I fuck with it. And then Travis did his thing too. The next song that I liked was Telekinesis. This song had Future, SZA, and Travis. They all did their thing. I feel like this is actually a very beautiful song. And then we get to the last song on the album, Till Further Notice. I remember when I was listening to this the other night, this was my third listen for the album. And when I got to this song, I felt so relieved. Like I said, this ties back into earlier when I said I wish that albums were 14 to 16 tracks. Like, that's like the perfect length for an album. But yeah, the last song is Till Further Notice. Till Further Notice has a feature from James Blake, and he has a very beautiful singing voice, so I fucked with that. And 21 Savage comes in with his same usual flows, his same cadence, everything. He came with this 21s. It's funny, I feel like he doesn't get as much hate as the Baby gets for doing the same shit, but 21 Savage, look, he does the same shit. But that's besides the point. Yeah, I like this song too, and it serves as the outro for the album. Overall, if you're counting all the songs in the album, so I liked in the album is Hyena, Thank God, Modern Jam, My Eyes, God's Country, Sirens, Meltdowns, Fiend, Del Resto, I Know, Utopia Twins, Circus Maxima, Parasail, Lost Forever, Love, K-Pop, Telekinesis, and then Till Further Notice. I only liked 8 out of 19 of those songs. And doing the calculation, that's 42% or a 4 out of 10. Oh, man. I feel like Travis kind of tried a little too hard on this album. I read somewhere that he said that he wants this album to have more psychedelic rock elements. And I feel like he accomplishes that, but I don't know. It just kind of felt very Yeezus inspired to me and very Kanye inspired, but it's not evolved from what Kanye has done. It's kind of just very similar. He just wears his influences really hard on his sleeve. But as for Travis, going forward, I'm looking forward to hearing more shorter 14 to 16 track albums. For this album, it's not for me, but that doesn't mean it can't be for you guys who are listening. But yeah, 4 out of 10. And as a little outro to this segment, Travis dropped Utopia on July 28th, 2023. Amine dropped Good For You on July 28th, 2017. Isaiah released The House Is Burning on July 30th, 2021. Ghost of Tsushima released on July 17th, 2020. I'm smiling hella hard right now. Dark Knight released on July 18th, 2008. Dark Knight Rises released on July 20th, 2012. Last of Us Remastered released on July 29th, 2014. Now I don't know Now I don't know about y'all, but these dates have something in common. But I can't quite put a finger on it. All right, so in this next segment, we're still keeping in the theme of music. But later on in the year, our boy Tyler the Creator, he's bringing back Camp Flog Gnaw, CFG. So it says it's a carnival, but it's really more like a festival, and then there's rides there. I've been to Camp Flog Gnaw in 2018 when Kanye and Kid Cudi headlined. And then I went in 2019 when Drake ended up being the mystery headliner and got booed off of the stage. So if y'all want to hear more about that, write in and let me know. This segment is going to be about my lineup wish list for the year of our Lord 2023. Can't believe he's doing Can't Flog Gnaw again, honestly. My list in no particular order. I'm trying to see. I know I shitted on Travis, but he owes me for dipping in Day in Vegas in 2021. So I hope he's there. So I'm trying to see Travis. I'm trying to see Steve Lacy. I'm trying to see Kendrick, Baby Keem, Jev, Denzel Curry, YG Tut, A$AP Rocky, Thundercat, Smino, and Reggie. And last but not least, this is a fucking long shot, but I'm trying to see Frank too, Frankie, our boy Frank Ocean. And on a side note, I did ask my girl what she wanted, who she wanted to see at Camp Flog Gnaw. And she said she wants to see Baby Keem, Steve Lacy, Mavi, Red Veil, Jev, Earl Sweatshirt, Bida Doobie, Doobie, Clario, Faye Webster's, Meatski, Lana Del Rey, Sexy Red, Omar Apollo, and Brent Fayez. As for me, I don't have that many female artists on my list, but that's not because I don't listen to that many. It's just that, no female artists are really speaking to me right now. But, that could change, of course. And the cool thing about festivals is you can discover new artists that you wouldn't listen to often. And of course, I will revisit this list when the official lineup comes out so we can see which ones we got right and wrong. But yeah, so that was the second segment of the show. That was actually a little shorter one. But yeah, for sure, the main ones I'm trying to see is Travis because I do want to see him live because I do definitely like some of his music. But, I'm not the biggest fan of his newest album, but I do like him as an artist. He's pretty good. But yeah, with what Frank Ocean did earlier this year, I don't think he's going to be at Camp Flog Gnaw. But all right, keeping with the theme of this show and lists, the last segment I have is my gaming pet peeves. And it's not only my personal gaming pet peeves, but my pet peeves with people and their thoughts about gaming too. So, let's just go down the list, one by one that I have written here. The first one I have written here is people who only play one game and then the whole time while playing they complain. Like either A, go play a different fucking game, or B, take a damn fucking break. And that also goes with trendy gamers too. People who only play the most popular games out. Graphic horrors. Yes, a beautiful, realistic game is immersive, but not every game needs to share the same realistic art style. People who say gaming is a waste of time. Shout out to my guy Nathaniel. But come to the front of the congregation. This is for you, my guy. Video games are fun. You just gotta find joy in it. Nate, my guy, just play Gears with me. This one's more gameplay focused. Not being able to pause during cutscenes. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when playing games because some games we have in long ass cutscenes. Games not having performance modes targeting 60 FPS on the new consoles. So the PlayStation 5s and the Series consoles. People rushing through games and then burning out on them. Some games take 6 and 7 plus years to come out. So why do we insist on beating them in a week or a weekend? We need to do a better job at savoring and appreciating games more. This also ties into my points about burnout. Is if you're rushing through games, you're gonna burn out on them. Games that have too many cutscenes. The very most, I feel the split between gameplay and story should be 60% gameplay in the gameplay loop and 40% story, dialogue, and cutscene. I feel like that's the very most you should push it. It shouldn't be 50-50. Like the most, it should be 60-40. But ideally less than that. Pointless fetch quests and monotonous and mandatory grinding. Octopath Traveler 2, come to the center of the congregation right now. I was 20 hours in, and low-key, I dropped that game because it makes you grind out your character levels, and I hate doing that. I feel like the game should guide us through meaningful content and provide adequate experience. We shouldn't have to grind to get to the next story beat. Games not allowing us to manual save. I hate when there's no manual save option in the game. Games not allowing us to toggle HDR on or off in the game. Because some games don't have correct HDR implementation, so it's good to turn it off in some games. AKA like Diablo. Diablo's HDR is fucking horrible. This is PC games specifically, but I hate when PC games don't have like a benchmark menu in the settings. And this benchmark menu, it like allows you, it kind of shows you how your computer will run the game and like what frames the game will run at. I don't like when games don't have FOV sliders. Expanding a field of view allows you to see more of your surroundings. So this is very beneficial if you're playing like a first-person shooter. Oh, I missed one. The last one is when the game doesn't keep accurate time of like how much you play it. So when the game doesn't have an accurate clock, like I hate that shit. But yeah, I have many more pet peeves, but this is just a quick list that I thought of. I will say one of the last pet peeves I have is console warriors and fanboys. People who take allegiance to corporations, it just doesn't make sense to me, but you know, that's for a segment for another day. And yeah, that was the episode. I'll listen to it again and I'll see how it is. Hopefully I did a good job. But thank you guys for listening and watching. A little bit of wise words for me is just because a piece of media has aged or isn't the most popular thing doesn't mean you still can't enjoy it. I try not to analyze too much of the company's marketing and promotion for content. This entails me not watching too many trailers, not looking into leaks. It allows me to create my own expectations for like, you know, the piece of media, whether that be video games, movies, stuff like that. Because when you do indulge in leaks and you do indulge in the trailers, it's robbing yourselves and ourselves of the joy that comes from personal discovery. The last note I have is the past few weeks, people I generally don't keep in contact with have hit me up about the show. And in my eyes, it's really exciting. It shows what I'm doing here has some weight. And you know, if you got this far in the episode, thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you guys would like to support me financially, you can do that through patreon.com/subagels. That's spelled Patreon, patreon.com/SUBAGELS. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Subeg Dollywell. That's spelled SUBEGDHALIWAL. That's both my Twitter and my Instagram. Shout out to my very special patron, Selena, and have a good one. Avatar out.